Hey there, you're listening to the Not So Breakfast Show with Sasha and Ish. Just tap and go, record already. Alright, welcome to the Not So Breakfast Show today, and this is the one about 5 ways to guarantee success in your job. Guarantees. Wow, that's a big word, but you know what? I pretty much can guarantee if you do the stuff that we are going to talk about, these 5 things, you are well positioned to nail your role, get recognized, get promoted, get opportunity. And to help me with this discussion today, because I forgot to introduce her last week, but I'm not going to forget this week, Sasha Coburn, how the hell are you?
Yay, I'm doing so good. Thank you, Ishmael. And I'm really excited about this topic today because I think it's such a fine line that we all go through these days between I want work-life balance. I don't want to sell my soul to my employer. I want to spend time with my kids. I want to pursue my own passions. Why doesn't anyone in my workplace recognize how good I am and how hard I work? And why aren't I getting ahead? So we're in this kind of storm of I want to get ahead. I want to get noticed. I want more money. I want more opportunity. I want more responsibility, and I want work-life balance, and I only want to do 3 days a week. So it's like, how do you balance all the noise that's out there about these different things? Should we be in our early 20s and 30s and 40s just living in a van and trying to get an online side hustle? Or should we be pursuing building a meaningful career in a number of organizations? And it doesn't have to be a binary choice, but I think almost what we suffer from these days, there's so many options and so many possibilities that if we're not careful, we can wake up, discover we're 50, and not only do we not live in a van traveling the world, but we also haven't built a really solid career yet. And so neither of those things are being achieved. And it's never too late to look at your career and say, actually, this is the year that I want to really be deliberate and contributing. And you are the man that can lead us through what those things are that, and I quote, guarantee success.
Brilliant, brilliant. All right, well, number 1, know the deliverables. Like, what is your job and what are you being paid to do? So sometimes we refer to these as KPIs, key performance indicators. If you've been in your job for a while and you're not getting recognized, maybe go back to your job description and look at it and go, so what am I actually supposed to be delivering? Because basically you cannot nail what you don't understand. And the clarity around what it is they're expecting you to deliver will set you free.
Yeah, and I think it's really useful to ask your employer or whoever you report to and say, in my contract, it says the KPIs are ABC. What else matters around here?
Yes.
Because often you can meet your KPIs and still not get ahead, and it's because you're not contributing to the team environment, or you never stay late when there's actually an expectation that on sometimes you will stay late. Sometimes you see people getting advanced ahead of you and you go, they're not even meeting their KPIs, but everybody loves them and they say yes and they're easy to deal with. Sometimes there's unspoken kind of KPIs like, yeah, we want you to hit your sales target, but more than that, we want you to be easy to deal with. Yeah. So people will get advanced if they slightly miss their target, but everyone loves them. So you just ask and be explicit about what is valued around here. What is the culture reward? And then you can see if there's a fit, because maybe there's not a fit. But if there is a fit, you want to know what the rules of the game are and play the game.
Yeah, that's right. And that opens up the second part, was still under the know your deliverables, but understand how they're tracking your performance. Because as you said, there may be some unspoken KPIs, some unspoken measurables that they're actually holding you against. And you don't even know what those are. They are looking for the team player, the person that brings the team together, as opposed to the maverick that's out there delivering a great result, but at the expense of, the team culture and the team environment. So if you understand what that is, and that may be having a conversation, or it might just be having some awareness for who's getting promoted around you or who's getting the opportunity.
And here's a really scary truth. Heaps of employers and leaders haven't got a clue what they're measuring people on.
Yeah.
So what they think they are, they're not. And they're just going with their gut feel. Do I like this person? Do I get on with them? if you're in a client-facing role, somebody that is well respected and pleased by the clients is worth gold to an organization, even if they're not necessarily hitting what might be the stated targets in a particular contract. So it's really about understanding how value is delivered and not being too harsh on your employer or leader who doesn't actually know what matters. There's a whole lot of people out there, and I know this from businesses that I work with and businesses that I have some ownership in, is that sometimes we're just doing the best we can to ship our product out there. And when an individual says, oh, how's my performance going? And I know it makes us bad leaders, but partly we want to go, you are the last person I've been thinking about over the last 3 months. We're just trying to hang in there and stay afloat. Or we're just trying to get our product to the market. We're not microscopically focused on how it's going for you. So, it's twofold, right?
That's right. And if you're in management and you may be in middle management, so you've got a senior leadership team above you, and then you've got your people that you are managing, your job is to deliver a result, the expected result, with the budget that you have. And if you're an employee reporting to a manager, understand that is a manager's driver. That's what they're trying to do. I'll say that again. It's deliver the expected result with the budget that they have. And then hopefully do that in a way that builds a culture, and starts to bring people together. But at the end of the day, that's what's driving the manager that maybe you report to, and then understanding your deliverables, your responsibility, your KPIs, your expectation within the role, and then how they're tracking your performance.
I remember once I spoke to a group of, I can't really say who it was, except that it was a group of judges in New Zealand. There we go, I just said it. And it was like a retreat, workshop, learning experience. And I might have told you this before, but I was speaking there. And before I even started, 4 of them walked out. They just weren't going to, quote unquote, waste their time or give their time. And I just remember going, wow, imagine being in an organization where you could just choose not to do that thing. And it turned out that part of the nature of the judiciary is you want to have this independence and you can't literally force them to stay. But I just went, man, if that was in a corporate environment, you would just never go, oh, yeah, there's some speakers, but I'm just not going to go to that one. I didn't really like the look of her. Amazing. And so every organization is different in terms of what it values. And I mean, it's fair to say I don't think those guys are like going to be the Governor General one day.
All right, number 2 in our 5 things to guarantee success in your
Guaranteed success
is understand your derailers. So this is about a little bit of self-discovery. So I honestly believe that you are positioning yourself with more potential to get ahead and be successful if you understand yourself and you have some ability to understand what your derailers are. And what your derailers are is what throws you off track that limits your performance, or what do you do when you are under pressure that could be limiting your career progression. And we have talked a little bit about self-development and about things like personality testing and all that kind of stuff. And as much as some of it is useful and some of it isn't, I still think you should do as much self-awareness training as you can handle to figure out when you're at your best and when you're at your worst.
And understanding how you behave when you get threatened.
Yep.
What are your default behaviors that you fall back into that perhaps don't serve you? What happens when you get stuck? Do you have undiagnosed neurodiversity, which means you just think differently and traditional workplaces don't work at a pace that works for you unless you understand yourself, and then you can take the appropriate action around that to make sure that you are recognized and you are contributing appropriately in the team environment. I think the whole self-discovery thing, as soon as you say self-discovery, I just giggle because it sounds rude. It's like self-discovery. I just think of like women's encounter groups that are all sitting around with their pants off and they've got mirrors on. What movie was that? You remember that movie?
Yeah, what I've got the visual in my head now. But
We have to Google that because that's just going to really annoy me. It might have been Thelma and Louise.
oh, I can tell you right now, I won't be Googling
Okay,
self-discovering with a hand mirror.
I'll Google it because my Google won't freak out when I put those words in. Yeah.
Your company won't be sending in the HR department to look at your browser history.
Oh no, you're right. I can't look at it now.
Don't have it on image search. Anyway, there was a movie, and in the movie, they were to explore with a mirror. How did we get here?
We'll be right back.
If there was one skill that could double your income, advance your career, and increase your ability to influence, it is the skill of presenting. Whether it's on stage, in the boardroom, or at a job interview, the 30-Minute Presenter program will help take you to the next level. So check out our Instagram page, click the link in the bio, and get started on the 30-Minute Presenter program.
It's about self-discovery, right? This idea that you'll be brave enough to understand yourself. And I know some of the work that I do with organisations around New Zealand and internationally, it's always interesting that there's such a range of people who have perhaps grown up in a Christian setting or any kind of religious setting, actually, which necessitates talks about values and morals and how to view the world and how to think about your own behaviour and have you sinned lately and what do you do with your terrible thoughts and all of that. And then there's a whole raft of people that I'm not sure how have given no thought ever to what they think about anything much or how they exist in time and space, or they haven't reflected on the privileges they've had based on their upbringing or their place in society and all of this stuff. So in order to be a really useful team contributor, it's really helpful to know yourself and understand what makes you tick.
Yeah. Like I know for myself, when I get under pressure, I have a tendency to want to work on my own and self-isolate and just double down on what I need to get done. But that doesn't make me a great effective leader at the time if I'm just solely focused and under pressure and then just completely on my own. You know, I've got a team to look after. I have other people I need to be interacting with. So understanding that when the pressure comes on, making sure I give myself the space, but also recognize that my brand equity and value that I bring is bigger than just the thing that I'm working on. Another way you can sort of understand your derailers is seek some feedback. I know there's a statement that you use, Sash, which is beware the person that asks for feedback. They really seek affirmation. So I think when we talk about seeking feedback, you know, are we really open to feedback and open to hearing what we sometimes may not want to hear?
That old classic, how do I look, honey? There is only one answer to that. That person is not asking for your feedback. They are asking for affirmation. So in a professional context, I was just like to say, just choose carefully who you ask for that feedback from. You want to be speaking with people who have your best interests at heart, who care about you, who want to see you grow, who are invested in you becoming the fullest and most best human being that you possibly can. You don't give your power away to any colleagues who might want to chip away and take the opportunity to tell you the things you do that are annoying. Because lots of those things are actually just personality quirks, and we want people to show up in the fullness of who they are. And if that's your personality quirk, good. I don't care. Be that, do that. But if it's something about the way that you work that is challenging for other people, then cool.
Right, number 3 is don't wait for your company to train you in the skills you need.
Oh, love this.
Yeah. Now, I'm not forgiving your company for not training you in the skills you need. I think everybody should be doing that at some base level. But don't be the person that just sits there and goes, well, they're not upskilling me. They're not investing in me. I'm not getting opportunities. All the training you need is around you. You could be asking someone to mentor you. You could be asking for advice. You could be reaching outside your organization to a similar organization, having a coffee with someone and picking their brain. Or you could just be accessing online training. Just invest in yourself. You know, maybe you do end up paying for the course yourself, but if that creates a skill set that you catapult off into success within your business or up and out into another business, good for you, rather than sitting there and just sulking because no one's investing in you, or you think the business should be because it owes you.
Totally. I saw this amazing thing today that I just loved. It's from Arnold Schwarzenegger. So Arnold's got this Monday motivation, and what he does is he's decided to share all his training expertise with the world. He puts out a workout every Monday and gives you a dose of motivation. And what this guy was saying was, oh, look, I get all this, but how can I motivate myself to do it? How do I get the motivation? And this is what Arnold says. He says, there's one question that comes up almost once a day that I have to deal with, and it comes in different variations. How do I start? How do I get the motivation to do something? How do I make myself get out of bed? So people are asking Arnold, they're like, I want to, but I just can't. So here was his answer to this question. You just do it. There's no fancy answer. There's no motivation. You just get out of bed and do your damn training, because otherwise you're letting the body you have been given go to waste. That body is a gift given to you by your parents if you're not religious, by God if you are, and who are you to waste it? But this is what he says that I love. He says, I won't stop you giving you what you need. Every Monday, I'll give you the motivation and the workout. Every week, I'm going to fill your inbox with free stuff. I've given you an ebook. I put all the tools in front of you, but you have to use them. He said, it's the thing I can't do for you. It's a choice you have to make. Right? And so I'm now subscribed to Arnold's Monday motivation because I like it's wicked.
Yeah.
But it's a long thing. But the point about this as it relates to training, you're going, what's this got to do with skill development? It's because the internet right now has every single book, video, DVD, online course, free speaker series, YouTube video by someone showing you how to do it. There is nothing that is unknowable now. So when people say, I need some skill development, I'm like, well, go and get some because it's literally free. It is freer now than ever before. Every major university in the world offers online courses and you name it. Now, maybe your learning style doesn't lend itself to that. Okay, I get it. Cool. Great excuse. Find another way around that. I just think if there's a single thing you want to learn how to do, it is more possible now than it has ever been in the history of the world. So just do it. Arnold cannot do the workout for you. I cannot make you learn something if you are not going to just take advantage of all the resources that are out there. I mean, Duolingo, you know how it's doing French on Duolingo?
Yeah.
That bitch is after me. She keeps messaging me now saying it's been 2 days, it's been 10 weeks, it's been whatever. I got one notification last week. I'm like, wow, this is clever and wrong. There's a little sad face from the Duolingo emoji, and it says, you have made Duolingo sad.
Oh, so.
Oh, wow. That's like, on the one hand, I was like, oh no, I did a sad thing to the computer program that's not human. So I went from being like slightly guilted into starting my French again into going, oh no, screw you, Duolingo. That's it. You will not get emotionally blackmailing me. So interesting though, right?
Yeah.
It's all there. Everything you want to learn is there.
Yeah. And you may be listening to this going, man, Sasha, you're getting a bit ranty on this one, but it is one of the things for me that is one of the biggest frustrations is, as Sasha said, the skill development is there for the taking. And if you know what skill you need in your job, double down, invest in it yourself, and take yourself to the next level.
And let me give you another really stupid example, but it's kind of a thing. So many experts who can sell you their time will also give you their time for free. So I got a LinkedIn request the other day from this guy, Daniel, and Daniel's like, I'm a high-performance coach. I'm doing great. I want to become a speaker. But any idea? So I go, hey, Daniel, let's jump on a call, half an hour, let's go. This will be great. So we organised that, and I've just literally had that session with him now, and I've chucked him a bunch of resources. I've suggested that as a starting point, he listens to the 30-minute presenter program. That's a great audio series to buy. It's just $2.99, really good entry point. I mean, it's a wonderful program. And the fact that you and I did it, Ash, that was by the by. But anyway, the funny thing was, he said, I don't know if you know how I found you. I'm like, no, how did you find me? He said, I Googled the 10 best speakers in New Zealand. And he said, you're number 6. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Got a list of the best motivational speakers in New Zealand. That's bullshit. What are you talking about? So he sent me the link. And it turns out some guy has put this list together and has ranked me number 6. Thank you very much. Bless you. Wonderful. But what Daniel does when he gets this list is he goes, I'm just going to contact these people and see if any of them will give me some time. So I've spent half an hour with Daniel. Maybe he's going to buy our program. Maybe he's not. But that's half an hour of quality advice, just because what he did is said, who are the 10 best? And I'm going to reach out to them. One of them's going to answer. And for free, he's got half an hour of great advice. That's open to everybody. I reckon if you wanted to learn something and you go 10 best in America, 10 best in wherever you are, find them, ask them for some time. They're going to try and sell you some stuff, but they'll give you some advice along the way.
All right, number 4, build relationships. Build relationships not just with your peers that are in your immediate team and group, but build up, build down, build sideways, build outside your organization. Don't use people as a means to an end. Stuff we've talked about in the past. Don't just build a relationship because you can get something out of it, but build relationships with people. Invest in other people and they will invest in you. And this is exactly what Daniel is doing. He's reaching out. He's built a bit of a relationship. As you said, maybe he'll invest in the program, maybe he won't. But the fact is, he's now got some knowledge. He's got a connection. And it's as simple as a coffee, a call, a meeting, or just being nice to people,
Yeah, one of the fascinating bits of research that came out of high performers that I had been involved in studying recently was a gendered thing. And it said when men leave one organization to go to another, they don't perform as well in the new organization as women do. And I thought, well, that's obvious because women are just better in general. Like everything about women is better. I mean, get a mirror, do some self-discovery. It's all good. But I was curious to understand why this was. And it's because as you move up the food chain, more women are isolated. So if you think about in many organizations, the senior leaders are predominantly men. So what it means is women are traditionally forced to build networks, not just in their organization, but also outside of their organization. So when you move from one company to another, you don't lose all of your support network. But for men, if there's more of you in your organization, let's say you are at ABC Bank, and you've got like 5 great guys and they're your pals and you build connections, it's amazing. If you then leave ABC Bank, then what will traditionally happen is you'll actually lose those guys as your support network because they can't talk to you about DEF Bank that you've gone to. Whereas if you've built a network that's across different organizations, that also means you can have some outside insight into what's going on. You can talk about things without bagging people. And it's a really nice thing in terms of when you're building relationships to get ahead in the job you're in now, is to also be thinking about where is my support outside of this organization so I can advance both within and in a new setting. And that's why kind of industry groups, networking sessions, all of those things, I mean, who's got the energy? Who can be bothered, right? And yet, if you can go with an attitude of I'm going to give a little and I'm going to get a little, it can be a really useful thing to do.
And then number 5, and this one is really just a short, simple list of things that people will just go, surely that can't help guarantee your success. Guarantee your success in a job. But when you add these into all the others, it is part of the solution. And it's really about bringing your energy, not distraction, to a role. And this is as simple as be on time, smile, be positive.
Oh, okay. So how about 2 out of 3 ain't bad? I got 2 out of 3. Damn.
You smile, you are positive like people wouldn't believe. And Well, the time thing.
You want me to be on time as well?
Lucky the value you bring is so strong with everything else.
Look, I'm a work in progress.
Yeah, but you'll see that there's just some people, and they just can't hit the on-time thing. They're late to everything, and it becomes part of your brand. It's part of people who are looking at opportunities for other people. They judge you on that stuff. So if you are new in your career or new in a business, hit those basics. Turn up to the meeting on time, smile, be positive, bring energy, not distraction. And I tell you what, then when you do everything else, like you're investing in your relationships, you're building the relationships up, down, sideways, you're not waiting for your company to train you, you're actually training yourself and investing in yourself. You understand your derailers, you're doing some self-discovery. I can't say self-discovery without thinking of hand mirrors anymore. And you also know the deliverables of your job. When you put all that stuff together, guaranteed 100%.
Guaranteed success. I'm pretty excited. I'm heading up to Finland in about 2 weeks. And I've just been reading about Finnish culture. And I'm going to be really interested to hear if that's true. Because apparently if you smile at Finnish people, they think you're crazy. It's just not part of their makeup. So you think about how often I smile all day, every day. I reckon I'll be there like 4 hours before there'll be a police alert that goes nutter on the loose.
Oh, you'll have 1 out of 3 over there. It's like no more smiling, not on time, but at least you're positive. All right, there was an ad that came through for me. And I say for me because it looked like it was targeted at me. Prime TV, they're going to reboot Picard, which is Star Trek Next Generation. All the original cast are back. 7 of 9. Oh, Data.
Amazing. That's exciting for you, right?
It's pretty exciting. So, yeah, I am. I'm looking forward to getting into that in a big, big way.
Yes. Go. I love that.
Oh, okay, Sash. Well, what are you reading?
Oh, you mean really? What am I reading?
Yeah, what are you reading? I don't know.
I'm actually reading a book that Bono released.
Ooh.
Bono. And it's called Surrender. And he takes a whole lot of U2 songs and through them he weaves some stories from his life. It's really interesting. It's got lots of words and then he makes fun of how many words he uses to explain a simple thing. But he did say this one thing that just struck me like to be incredibly true, and I understood it. And you might get this too from when you're speaking. He was talking about this incredible paradox that when he is in front of maybe 40,000 people in a stadium, and obviously I've never spoken in front of 40,000 people, but performing in front of a crowd that big, and you are talking to them, you are singing your song, sharing your heart, sharing your wisdom, etc. And he said it's the most connected he feels, and it's the most kind of personally fulfilled he feels and the most himself.
Wow.
The irony is that in those moments, he is the freest to be himself. And I thought, I can so relate to that. It's really hard to explain to people how you can be talking to a crowd of 400 people who you've never met before, sharing a story from your life with them, and you have a moment where you go, this is the fullness of who I am. This is me, bare and exposed and real and raw, and it's a beautiful thing. And I was thinking about it in relation to like being successful at work and going, can you have moments in your workday where you go, yes, this is the perfect distillation of everything I'm good at. I get to express that now. And I think if there's at least a couple of moments a week where you have that, then that's a good sign that you're in the right place and will end up being successful in your job.
Yeah, I love that. And that's you investing your time wisely as opposed to me watching Star Trek, which is why you are number 6 and I am number 11.
Shut up. You are getting great Star Trek knowledge to share with your next audience.
Let's hope they're Klingon.